Shalom, following Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. Have been asked a question on bartering. Bartering. Following Yeshua, how do you feel about bartering? Well, I feel bartering is a great idea. Now, how do you feel about bartering in an SHTF or situation like that? How do you feel about that? Depends. See, here's how I feel about bartering. Unless you have an established community or set of people that you're bartering with now, I, in my personal opinion, believe it would not be a great idea to barter in, SHTF situation. First and foremost, when you talk to most people about bartering, they usually talk about bartering things like coffee or cigarettes or alcohol, vices, things that are vices to people. Now, I'm going to propose an idea. How great of an idea do you think it would be for you to be bartering with strangers? Let's say, you go to a location and you're going to barter with somebody and you don't know. And you're probably going to be bartering one of those things, cigarettes. You're bartering one of those things, a vice. Do you believe that people are going to be rational if people are at a place where they are able to barter alcohol? Have you seen people that are alcoholics, what they will do for that next drink, or cigarettes, or even caffeine? Especially working. Well, I worked in adult psych for many years, and you see people that are have even come into psych facilities who, it was cigarettes, and they're in a psych facility over there because they don't know how to get their mind right. They don't know how to. It's hard. So you're talking about bartering things with people that are coming down off their vices, with people you don't know. So how much easier would it be for somebody to just follow you? You meet somebody and you arrange a deal or however that happens, and you're going to take a pack of cigarettes and trade it to them for what it is that you need. And what would stop them from just taking it from you? I mean, honestly. Why? I have a firearm. Well, they will probably have a firearm also. And you remember, they're coming down off of, they need that nicotine. They need that alcohol. Or let's just say they need their prospective drug. Meth. Crack cocaine, whatever it may be that their thing is. And they're coming off of it. And you have what they need. I highly doubt they're going to be in a place of negotiating or willing to negotiate with you. It'd be more advantageous for them just to take it from you or to follow you back, because if you have one bottle of alcohol, there's probably a high probability you have more than one bottle of alcohol. So why not just figure out where home base is? This is why I'm a firm believer in if you're really truly into the idea of bartering, you need to develop a network right now who you're going to barter with. And I don't think that it's a great idea necessarily, my own personal opinion, to barter vices. Things that are vices. If I put back alcohol, I'm not going to be bartering it unless it's with people I already know. And the high likelihood is they'll probably use the alcohol for a medicinal purpose, a medical purpose, or making tinctures or something like that. I highly doubt if it's somebody that I know, they're going to be using it because they're an alcoholic and they're drunk. And this is my personal opinion once again. I just don't like the idea. We live in a society now where people are following people home from grocery stores. And that's food. What are people going to do when it comes to something that they are addicted to? And that's what you stored up. That's what you stored. You stored up a bunch of stuff that people are easily and highly addicted to, and that's what you're going to be using to barter. Alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, or, prescription drugs, whatever it may be. So my idea is bartering is going to be something you're going to likely need to do because you cannot produce everything that you need. My suggestion would be arrange those groups, those networks now. find that person that, hey, they are great with metalworking, or a person that's an auto mechanic, or a person that grows food. Develop those relationships today and start that process of bartering now, so that if, when things fall apart, you're not in a position where you're trying to take your wares to a complete stranger and asking them to give you a fair deal and not follow you home and just jack the rest of your stuff. You see what I'm saying? Again, I'm speaking from a perspective of a person who's lived in bad areas. If you lived in bad areas, whether it was drugs or meth or weed or crack or heroin, or heroin, black tar or crocodile or any of these synthetic, man-made drugs or shrooms, whatever it may be. Maybe not shrooms. And you've seen people high as a kite. You've seen people drunk as a really drunk person, I guess. When you've seen that, and you've seen how aggressive they can be to try to acquire the next hit, try to acquire the next drink, you're not going to be so free willingly able or wanting to walk out and meet somebody. Even today, when it comes to like a Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, people are, trading things on Craigslist and getting jacked. You arrange a meet up with this guy, and you're going to give him $400, and he's going to give you what he has, and you show up, and he shows up, and he pulls the gun out, and you takes what you got, and hops in his car, and he's gone. He takes your cash, and he hops in his car, and he's gone. So this stuff is happening now, and things are still great. You're trying to tell me this is not going to happen when it comes to a time of I need my drink, I need my this, I need my... Even it could be a person who needs food. I need food. I may need a tool. I need, this tool. I need this for my survival. And I know for a fact that you got it. I know for a 100% fact that you got this thing. You think the person's just going to free willingly walk away and say, no big deal. I'm not worried about it. If we don't come to terms with for a good deal, it's no big deal. You go ahead and go home, and I'm going to go back to my place without the tool that I need. It's going to possibly save my life or help me with my addiction or fix that thing that I need to get fixed because it's a life and death situation. You think they're going to let you walk away? There's a high probability not. Especially if you're talking, SHTF, you're talking any sort of, situation like that. Especially if you're a woman, I'm just going to walk out there with this whatever. I'm going to barter with these completely strange people. Because you understand, as women, they'll take your goods, and then they're going to take the one thing that notoriously women have bartered their whole life. And that's, their body. So for me, it's an option, but it's an option with the network that you are building today, and not waiting till, the SHTF or, a situation happens where now I'm going to go and start bartering. Now, I've stored up these goods so that I could barter with who? I've stored up cigarettes so that I could barter them with random people when the time comes. Well, you think those people are going to be rational and level-headed when it comes to that deal? Or alcohol? Or whatever vice they have, you really think they're going to be level-headed and be willing and ready to just make an offer for you? And if they make an offer, hey, I'll give you this, and you say no, you think they're really going to let you just walk home with the goods, or hop in a car and drive home with the goods, and not try to find out where you are, where you live, where you stay? You understand, the risk that you take? High level of risk for a very low reward. Take the time now and develop those relationships today. Develop them right now, instead of waiting for this time to get bad and then you want to develop them. And you got to ask yourself a question. If you have to, if the people that you're going to be dealing with, you're developing relationships with alcoholics, you may want to look at the type of people you are hanging around right now. If you, are willing, I stored up 18 cartons because everyone that I know smokes. Well, do you want people that have certain vices and they are addicted to those vices? Would you really want them to know what you have in the first place? I'm just asking. Anyways, Just an idea, something I'm passing along. Hopefully it helps you. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do it with people that are verified, that are have been tested, proven, and tried. You know where they stand, so that you just don't find yourself in a position having yourself followed home like we're seeing today all over the news. Bless y'all. Hope that answers the question on my opinion on it. Shalom.